Hi, we're back again, and we have some really interesting people that are coming up. And his name is Jennifer Tadlock and
Richie Mirelez.
Richie Mirelez. Okay, I'm so glad you came in today, you guys.
Thank
and
you.
I
Thank you so
heard that
much.
you got some films that you
Yeah.
did. You actually did these films. You produced them. Wow.
Well, one of them. The other one we're going to be doing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Looking for
okay.
Fresno
So-
support.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the one you've already done.
So the one that we've already done is going to be released next Thursday, August 24th. It's going to have a limited Hollywood theatrical release, and then it's also going to be on all digital platforms starting August 24th. It ties to Fresno because, well, I live in Fresno. I've been here for 15 years, but we filmed the whole thing down in L.A. But I did a big concert scene up here at Fulton 55.
Wow.
So we had a lot of people from Fresno in that. So they're excited about that. I have a lot of crew that came down from Fresno that was part of the film. The writer is from Fresno. So we have a lot of ties to Fresno, so it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Actors in there
Yeah.
too, right?
Yes, we have one of our actors that's in the film is a good big local actor here, Brett Prieto, that starred in the
yeah.
film Victory by Submission, which is one I produced here for Alan Autry. So he's in the film. So we definitely have a lot of ties to Fresno, so it's exciting. But I'd love to show the trailer, and then we can talk about it.
Yes, that's good. Let's go.
I think with a little fine tuning, you guys could be a hit.
We got signed by Frontier Records.
What happened, man?
I don't know, I just blinked.
Mason, you have dementia. Dementia.
How is his son? How's he doing?
Hey, Dad. What's up? Everybody going on the road.
And I was thinking of you and come along with us.
No booze and no whores around him.
Of course. So you want to be a musician, little brother?
I don't know. Maybe you got to get him up on stage, Pops, huh? What do you think?
No, I think you guys are right.
That boy deserves better than what you're giving him. When are you going to tell him?
One day you'll have to turn around and look in the mirror. You're gonna be very disappointed, boy.
Hey, can you come pick me up, please?
Look, are you sure you don't want to call someone?
Consider this your second chance. Don't screw up.
When are you gonna grow up? You're not 20 anymore, Mason. The things you do affect other people.
Funny thing is, we're all remembered. The only difference is, for what?
Wow, that is so neat. What a subject. Whatever got you on that subject?
Okay, so this is a kind of a funny story. Usually when you make a film, you have a script, and then you go out and try and get funding for it. That's the standard way usually to make a film. In this instance, Chris Malachy, who's the star of the film that you saw in there, he was in a film that I did here in Fresno called Finding Hope Now that I produced and directed a while ago. That's out on digital platforms, by the way.
Yeah,
a little plug for that.
Little plugs. Little plugs.
He wanted to make a film and basically called me and said, Jen, we have this much money. I need a script. I mean, how often does that happen, right?
Wow.
So it wasn't a very big amount of money to make a film in LA. So we had to be really creative. We had to be really creative with the story, with the logistics of how we were going to shoot it and the locations and everything to make a really high production, quality film. So we shot it in 12 days. We doubled up locations a lot of the script locations, we used like 2 locations for 5 script locations.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we had to get as creative as we possibly could.
So what you call movie magic.
But it was, yeah.
You made it happen.
Exactly. Somehow,
That's
it's
the
all
fun.
a blur.
That's
'cause
why you do it, right?
It was
Right.
literally 12 days nonstop. I think I slept maybe 4 hours in that time. Because I was producing and I directed it. And but we had incredible acting. We're very, very fortunate. You saw some of those people in there. Billy Worth, I don't know if you know him. His big fame was The Lost Boys, which is a huge vampire movie in the 1980s. David Preval, which is an amazing actor. You would know him on The Sopranos. He played Richie on The Sopranos.
Oh gosh, yes.
Chris, who stars in the film, if anyone ever watched soap operas, he was on Passions and Days of Our Lives and almost every soap there is. So we have a lot of great talent. Oh, we were really fortunate also because there's a music aspect of the film. That's the thing is Chris wanted to incorporate his band Malachi Theory, which they play a lot of the local scene down in LA at like Whiskey A Go Go and places like that. He wanted to have that in the story, and we didn't want to make a typical rock and roll movie. We wanted to make a movie that had a lot of heart and had a good subject matter. And so the writer, John Hollis, and myself, and Brett actually collaborated as well, Brett Prieto from here, on a story that kind of encompassed all that. And we came up with, well, why don't we have a sprying rock star trying to make it big in the music business? And he's neglected everyone that he loves, all his relationships. And just as he's about to sign with a big record label, he gets early onset dementia in his 40s.
Oh, God.
And that's a story close to John. He had just gone through it with his grandmother, so he was very, very, had just gone through that whole thing. I had gone through that with my grandmother. So it was a subject very near and dear to us. And ironically enough, Chris, when we were making the film, or just after we made the film, his father came down with Alzheimer's.
Oh my Lord.
So we made this a few years ago. It's been about 5 years. But we were delayed for a while because Chris was dealing with his father, and then he recently passed away. So now the film is actually dedicated to his father. So yeah, I mean, we're really proud. And now we actually have Alzheimer's charity. The LA Walk to End Alzheimer's is endorsing us, and we're raising money for that charity. We're doing a red carpet premiere in Beverly Hills next Thursday before the film opens on the next Friday. Sorry, the day after.
Oh, you guys, how exciting!
And that's going to be a big benefit fundraiser for the LA Walk to End Alzheimer's. So we're really, really excited to be able to have a film with my name on it that touches on this subject.
Oh yes, I'm just so proud of you guys. And it's amazing that how things come to you. You know, when you start out, maybe you're not sure, and all of a sudden, boing, here's the idea, and you can go with it. You know, I think it's wonderful that you direct them too.
Yes, it's kind of crazy. I'm a mother of 5. I've been in this business for 25 years, and I've just been very fortunate to pick and choose the projects that I want to work on. Luckily, my husband has a good stability with his job, and in this business, as everyone knows who works in the film industry, there's not a lot of stability all the time. You kind of have to constantly sell yourself and get out there. But I've been really fortunate to work on projects that are passionate to me. And if I'm directing something, I have to believe in it 150% because it takes so much time
Oh, that's for sure.
away from my
That's for
family
sure.
and all of that. So yeah, so we're really excited to get out here. Oh, another exciting thing to say about that film is we've been in talks with Maya Cinema here, and they want to run the film for a week here that we're looking to do in September and actually coincide with the LA Walk to End Alzheimer's in Fresno.
Oh my God.
So we have them on board with us, and we're looking to book that and have it play here for a week. So.
Well,
So we're really
it's-
excited.
It's starting to go. When it's really something that is important, it will just go.
Yeah, and especially if we have
This
the
is just the
community support.
beginning for you kids on this. It's gonna really go.
Well, I mean, I know there's been a lot of films about Alzheimer's. I actually had done another one that's coming out in November for Perry King. I produced a film for him that touches on the subject of Alzheimer's too, that comes out this coming November, called The Divide. But this one, I mean, I really haven't seen many films that talks about early onset dementia. And when I bring up that subject, people don't even know that you can get it that early
it's
in
just
the
raising
40s.
awareness. Yeah.
That's right. Mostly
And it's
people
scary.
talk about when you're old, and it really is not brought up enough. So this is what's wonderful.
Yeah.
To,
Because it's genetic. I think it runs in my family. My aunt just died of it recently as well.
oh, dear, dear, dear.
And every time I forget things, I think, oh my God, am I that? Am I
No,
that?
I gotta
I
tell
mean,
you,
it's scary.
People forget things. I sometimes say, well, I forget a lot of things, but then some young person will come along and say, oh, I do the same thing. I forget the same thing. So it's not all age. It's just sometimes you forget. So.
Oh, I do that a lot.
But I thought you had another film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Richie, why don't you take
Yeah,
this?
so
take the reins
Richie,
here.
go ahead.
We have the Road to Omaha. If you're familiar with the 2008 Fresno State Bulldog baseball story, when they won the national championship, they weren't even ranked enough to actually get into the tournament, and they actually wiggled their way in by winning a few important games at the end of the season, and ended up going on to win the whole tournament.
Never happened in NCAA history before.
Yeah, it's the
my
biggest
gosh.
story in all sports of the lowest ranked college baseball team or sport in general.
In any
in
NCAA
any event.
sports.
Yeah, any NCAA sports.
That's amazing.
For a team to come from that far as an underdog. So, the story back in 2008 was, underdog to wonder dog, the Cinderella
that's
story of sports and baseball. So,
Right. And there's actually a book written by Paul Leffler, the athletic director, Underdogs to Underdogs.
yeah, and so it's just me being from Fresno. I grew up loving the game. I had a nonprofit baseball summer travel team that I coached for 4 years. Took kids all over the state to go compete during the summer. I enjoyed that. Didn't get paid a penny. Did it for the love of the game. So just being a baseball player, coach, and just like I said, I have the love for the game. And having this opportunity of this Hollywood film, coming to Fresno.
Wow.
Our writer, executive producer, he's not from Fresno.
Joe Cook.
Joe Cook. Yeah.
Joe, I know you're watching.
Yeah, he's not even from Fresno. So
He's in LA.
He understands how great this story is. So it has to, and he's shocked that no one has even wrote or even thought about making a film about it.
Wow.
So
It's natural.
yeah, and I last night I was actually going through YouTube videos of 2008 of the when they actually won the championship. I mean, every sports bar in Fresno. I
was
mean,
the
I'm talking
biggest
about
story.
packed, no seat, all seats taken, people
Wow,
standing only.
wow.
I mean, the restaurants and the bars were going crazy when they won, and so I think that's what we're really looking forward to, is having the community rally back around that
Yes,
feeling
yes.
and how exciting it was and how much support we had during that time. I remember it. I was in one of those places. I was at the World Sports Cafe, back when it's not open anymore in River Park.
Right.
But yeah, that's where I was watching those games versus North Carolina, and I remember it like it's yesterday. And so what we're really trying to push is that we have a Kickstarter page. But before we get to that, we do have a short trailer to give you guys a little of an idea of what we're after here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It was late in the season. We got into the regional. You've got 3 of the best teams in the country. And we're not only not winning, we're playing really bad. If you're getting through this, I'm not doing it by myself, and you're not doing it by yourself. We better get together and lock arms and get this done.
When it was to that point where, I've done everything I can do. Today we're either going to win or lose, and how am I going to change that? By riding these guys and breathing down their necks.
That's probably the biggest mistake, trying to control too much. And there comes a point when you can feel it and you just let them go.
It got to the point where if they looked over and the other guy's willing to do anything it takes to win, well, then I better be willing to do anything it takes to win too. Brandon Burt, Steve Sussdorf, Justin Wilson had stepped up in a major way.
We had guys hitting a $180 going 3 for 4 in Omaha. We had guys with 7 ERAs coming in pitching like they're Nolan Ryan.
It was so much like kickball in elementary school. It was free and it was pure.
The whole time, these guys were just so unassuming and good-natured about it.
They weren't afraid to lose. They didn't care if they lost.
You could see other teams tightening up and feeling the pressure, and these guys just flew through it.
No team in the history of the NCAA in any sport has ever been seeded this low and won a national championship.
This is what every coach is seeking. How do you get that team to a point where they really are playing for each other and they really are performing as one? I think that's really rare for people that age and that situation to know what's at stake, to know how much it means to so many people. That is really hard to find in sports at any level, and that team possessed that quality.
That is so darn exciting because everybody loves baseball to begin with, but when it's a hometown thing and you have such an extreme success, it's really
any sport in Fresno State. I mean, when the basketball team is doing well, when the football team is doing well, unfortunately, it's like that's when we rally up.
Right.
And, people get really
right.
excited,
Yeah.
and people don't understand how big of a baseball community the Valley is.
Mm.
I mean, not even 10 miles apart are two high schools. You have like Buchanan, you have Clovis West, you have Clovis North, and they're all competing for top 10 high school teams in the nation, and they're all within 10, 15 miles apart.
Wow.
So it's like, that's how, I mean, we need the Valley to really own this, and it's for them. It's for the exposure. It's for Fresno.
Right. That's for sure.
So we're
That's
really
for
excited
sure.
about that, and just being in the film industry for the last 4 years, going on 7 years now. Excuse me. I was blessed to be a part of a film called The Gallows in Fresno, so that was something that people were excited about. You know, that
Well,
went out for
I was here in the very, very start. We started having film people get together, and then they built the whole. Well, you know, I don't know. I can't remember what they call it, but everybody's going into that, and they're getting together, and people are starting to really do some good work.
And you know, there's a lot of great filmmakers in town, whether it is lighting, whether it's sound, whether it's, you know, their director, producer. Everybody's kind of scattered and doing their own thing. But what we've been managing to do over the last 7 years is bring everyone together. And we like to call it the all-star team of Fresno's filmmakers.
Great. Yeah, it's
and when
great.
we all get together, I mean, we have films out that have been all around the world in 64 countries.
And
you know, 3,000
that's
theaters in the
fantastic.
US, so.
You guys, I'm so glad you came in, and every one of those things sounds like big winners, and I'm so glad for you.
Thank you
And
so
I hope
much.
that you'll come in, and when something else comes along too, a new film, come on in.
Yeah, so we're looking for Kickstarter.
Yes, so please, yes, go to our Kickstarter page. I know there might be a link up there, but you can go to Kickstarter, search Road to Omaha, and the reason why we're doing a Kickstarter page is for startup costs. We have investors, we have a major studio interested. It's just we want to show the support in Fresno. We want to show Hollywood that Fresno wants it filmed here.
I'll say for
So,
that.
Donate
Okay, you
now,
guys.
and you get a great reward. You could be in the movie. There's all incredible rewards that you can get for doing it.
Fantastic. Okay, I'll see you guys next time then.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.